Hey guys, check it out. Got something I've been wanting to try out for a long time now. Got some LED headlight bulbs. Now if you've been around my channel for a while, you know I'm somewhat of a lighting enthusiast, I guess. I really like HIDs, LEDs, light bars, all that good stuff. And you might have noticed in some of my videos I pretty much converted all my vehicles to HID headlights. Really like them, you know, except you gotta wait for them to warm up and all that good stuff. But we might just have the new best thing here is the LED headlights. And of course these are Auxbeam lights. You know that name by now. And this is a 80 watt high-low beam H4 kit. We're going to try it out on my EcoBeater Honda Civic. It says it's 7200 lumens, and this is the F16 series by Auxbeam. So go ahead and pop this open and give you a closer look at these things. Alright, like I said, this is the 80 watt 7200 lumen F16 series by Auxbeam, of course. And this is for you guys who like to see boxes being opened. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Comes with some instructions. Oh no, we're missing a bulb. Ah, don't worry. I already tried one out in my car. I got a little impatient. I had to test it out before I made this video. So we got one in the car already ready to go for you. But we'll go ahead and pull the other one out, take a look at it. Real nice looking light bulb. Nice aluminum. This piece here is plastic. That's just a retainer that holds it in your housing. But the rest of it's all nice aluminum. You got your little power supply here, controls the fan and everything. There's a built-in fan right in here. Looks like a really nice, really well-made light. Really like that thing. I haven't got a chance to try them out after dark yet, but like I said, I popped one in, just wanted to see the difference up against the door here. And I'll show you that in just a second. So, yeah, there it is. I'll go ahead and get the old EcoBeater in here. And just like I mentioned before, this is an H4 bulb that I got right here, which is a high and low beam bulb, but they make all these different sizes for you depending on what bulb you have. I just happen to have the H4 in my Honda Civic. So, but there it is. I'll go ahead and get her in here and show you the difference. Alright, the first thing I want to do is go ahead and give you guys a little comparison here. I got the Honda backed in, pointing up against the garage door. Got the lights off in the shop. And I want to go ahead and do a little comparison to show you the difference between the LEDs and the HID that I've got installed on the car. And also I'll go ahead and pop in just a regular old halogen bulb, show you the difference between that and the LED as well. So we'll go ahead and shine it up against the door here, and we'll see the difference in not only the brightness up against the door, but also the pattern that the bulb puts on the door. Because I've noticed that HIDs, they kind of have a little different, more scattered out pattern than my old halogen bulbs did. So we'll go ahead and compare it to the LEDs and see what they look like. So let's go ahead and fire it up. On the right side of the car is the HID, and that's a 55 watt Zentek HID. Made a video on those about a year ago, and they're still working, surprisingly. And on the left side is that new Auxbeam 80 watt LED. One thing you're going to notice right away, it's going to take a while for that HID to warm up, but the LED, that's going to be instant on. That's what's so great about them. Here we go. See that LED over there slowly warming up, or HID rather. It's slowly warming up. LED, that thing's right on, full power right from the get-go. That is the low beams. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but you notice how that HID is more scattered all over the door, and the LED's got a much more focused beam. That'd probably be a good thing when you're driving towards traffic and you don't want to blind people. I know a lot of people have problems with HIDs because it blinds oncoming drivers. But that LED does look like a lot more focused beam. Let's go ahead and I think it's pretty much warmed up now. Let's go ahead and try the high beams. Oh yeah. You see that LED is definitely a much more focused beam. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but that HID on the right hand side is kind of scattered all over the door, where the LED, much more focused beam. It's also a lot whiter light too, or a lot more of a bluish, I guess. There's the low beam and the high beam. I'd say as far as brightness, like I said, the camera, I'm looking at the camera and then I'm looking at the door. In real life, it definitely looks like that LED is actually a little bit brighter than the HID, which is pretty cool. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but that actually does look a little brighter than the HID. You can kind of tell in the camera too, it's kind of a hotter light. Alright, let's go ahead and I'll pop a regular halogen bulb in that right side real quick and we'll just compare those two. Alright, I got the old stock halogen bulb stuck in on the right side, and we've still got the LED on the left side. Now keep in mind, in that last comparison I showed you, that was comparing that LED to a pretty bright 55 watt HID bulb, and that thing was just as bright, maybe even a little bit brighter than that HID, so that's pretty cool. Pretty happy with that. But now let's go ahead and see what it looks like compared to the old puny halogen stock bulb. Oh man, that's definitely a big difference there. Not only is it brighter, but it's definitely a lot better looking. Nice white light instead of that ugly yellow halogen bulb over there. Go ahead and try the high beam. Oh yeah, look at that. I like that. Can't wait to try these things out after dark. I'd say it looks like they're going to work pretty good. It's just as bright as my HIDs and maybe a little brighter, and definitely a lot brighter than your stock halogen bulbs. So I'm going to go ahead and get that other one put in, and we'll wait for it to get dark, go try these things up and down the road, see what they look like. One other thing I want to point out real quick is another big advantage of these LEDs. Like I said, you've got this little controller for the fan, no big deal. And you can tuck that anywhere, zip tie it in place, you're fine. HIDs, you gotta have these big old ballasts. Like I said, it's pretty big bulky ballast. And if you got high-low beam HIDs like I do, you need this controller relay. This little harness here that controls the HID up and down. That's actually got to be wired into the battery. You got to run across over to the other side to the other ballast and the other HID bulb. It's got a separate wiring harness here to control the bulbs up and down. And like I said, I just got this stuff unplugged right now because I'm going to going to LEDs. But yeah, that's another big advantage. You don't have to have all this clutter under your hood. You know, all these big ballasts. You got to find a place for them. You know, the controller harnesses, you got to wire all that crap in. These things, you just plug them in, zip tie this up somewhere, you're good to go. Alright, well, as you can tell by the lack of sun, it's nighttime. Time to check these bad boys out. There is the low beams. And there's the high beams. Already looking, like I said, at least as bright or brighter than my HIDs. Go ahead and take it for a spin down the road and see what it looks like. There's the low beams. You notice it actually has a pretty good cutoff line as far as how far those beams are shining up in other people's eyes. It actually seems to keep it down low pretty good. And there's the high beams. Low, high, a little bit foggy out tonight. I know you guys have heard me say this a million times in my videos, but the camera just never does it justice. I mean, these things definitely look better in person than they do in the video, and I actually get kind of bored of saying that, but I always feel like I have to say it just, you know, because in the video it just doesn't look that great. But you know, they do look pretty good. I really like them. Like for instance, right now I can see this tree branch down in the road in front of me. You can't see it on the camera yet. Oh, and there is a stick in the road. There we go. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it definitely lights up the path. That, and it's pretty foggy out tonight. I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera or not, but these LEDs seem to cut through that fog pretty well too. You know, the HIDs, sometimes they scatter that beam out and they kind of blind you by lighting up all the fog. These LEDs actually seem to cut through that a lot better, so hey, that might be another advantage to LEDs. I don't know. Looks pretty good though. I like them. Well, these things are definitely a lot brighter than your stock halogen bulbs. That's a given. So, I mean, if you're looking to upgrade your halogen bulbs, that's a no-brainer. These things are going to be great for you. But if you're looking to upgrade your HIDs, or you're on the fence whether, you know, you want to get HIDs or LEDs, hey, I'd say these things work pretty good. I mean, I think I could see just as well as I could with my HIDs with these LEDs. Plus, you don't have all the hassle with the ballasts and the extra controllers and all that stuff. They work pretty good. So I wish I would have known about these when I bought all my HIDs. So maybe eventually I'll start converting my HIDs over to LEDs. But looks good. I don't think you can go wrong with these bulbs. So check them out. As always, I'll put a link in the description where you can check them out on Amazon. And thanks for watching, guys.